Greetings, everyone. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. We're here on day number 16th, which coincidentally is also July number 16th, of my 31 favorite albums that introduced me to these bands. This is a band that I've known about since, it must be like 1980. I heard of them back in the 1980s. My friend talked about how the drummer had left one of our favorite bands to move on to join another band. So it might have been 81 or 82 when I first heard these guys. But I never followed them. I never got into their music. Never really listened to much of what they did. Was introduced maybe to a song by them, but it was being done by another band. And I never really got into them for some reason. And then once the channel started, I knew it was time to do it, and I started out with this album, In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. This was the introductory album for me for the band. I have to admit, at very first half dozen listens to, I was thinking, yeah, I was right. This is not really a band for me, because they're kind of way out there. But I put it in my playlist because that always tends to take the bugs out if there is any. And sure enough, it did. Within a short period of time, I was loving this album and all of the songs on it, especially the ones that aren't as big or well known. The songs like, sorry, don't have my glasses so I can't read my notes. And I don't know where I put my glasses, so I won't be able to do that. Oh, here. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, Talk to Me, Talk to the Wind was the song I was trying to remember the name of. Talk to the Wind, Epitaph, Moonchild. These were all tracks that that began to get me into them. The other two, In the Court of the Crimson King and 21st Century Schizoid Man, I knew of them and had heard them before. But this just turned out to be a really strong album for me. Very different than anything I had heard. Much more progressive than most any other band. I think if I'm thinking about extremes, I'm thinking Yes is almost just right of center for extremes where progressive is, and then you got the next one out might be Gentle Giant, and then maybe Pink Floyd, and then you got King Crimson way out on the edge. So definitely a bit of an extreme kind of progressive stuff, but really interesting. I love the artwork on here as well. There's just so much going on here. Greg Lake's voice is fantastic on this album. All 5 of the tracks have come to like them all quite a bit. Even 21st Century Schizoid Man, which was the first one I ever heard, and it was being played by April Wine, as many of you have heard this before. But I have actually liked this version much better, and that makes sense, right? Because they're the ones that made it. So, but the first song that kind of brought all this to me was I Talk to the Wind. I don't know what it is about this song. I just think it's a masterpiece. I love it. Epitaph eventually became, though, probably my favorite on this album, although I do like both of those songs a lot. And Moonchild is a good track. It is a very good track. I know there's people that don't really like this album. They think it's a little bit too mellow in the middle, but I actually think it's a killer album. I wish they'd done some more of this type of thing. I did like the second album for the same reasons. Lots of similarity for the two albums. Yeah, absolutely killer, but they don't really have a bad album at this point for me. I've listened to the ones up to like the 5th one already, and I'm liking most of them. Lizards I'm not as crazy about, but overall, great album, great instrumentation. Robert Fripp's guitar playing is fantastic. Greg Lake's voice, like I said, fantastic. And the overall progressive kind of instrumentation and putting together of songs on this album is really, really, really solid. So, In the Court of the Crimson King, my introduction into King Crimson. This on day 6, this is number 16 on July 16th. So we're moving on up, and I hope that you will join me for the next episode. If you like this episode, please hit the like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. Any comments about the album, the group, or my choice of them as a pick here today, you can do that in the comment section. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we will see you again here on Prog Monster tomorrow. Take care and have a good one. Bye.